that, and we're good. Okay.
Oh, you're doing 74 chords.
I have 728.
It's really easy.
Okay, let's look into that
Farewell.
a little bit. So, like I said, I'm going to play the video for you. You can have the quiz open while I'm doing this, all right? This is going to make you think a little bit today. It's good stuff. Here we go.
Hi, this video covers a couple of quick tricks to go through a string one character at a time using a for loop. As a prerequisite for this first trick, you'll need to understand the len function. This function takes a single argument and returns the length of that argument. For now, assume that the argument must be a string. Later, you'll learn how to use len with other things. Okay, remember, the maximum possible index in a string is one less than the length. In this case, 8 is the highest index we can use. Also, remember that the number in range in a for loop is one more than the highest number that I will reach. In this example, I goes from 0 to 8. Okay, take a look at this program. You have a string and you have a for loop. If I goes from 0 to 8, what else could it be used for in this program?
I don't know.
Okay, you can use it as an index. Since it starts out at 0, the first thing printed will be s at index 0, or the letter h. Then, when I becomes 1, the thing that gets printed is s at index 1, or the letter I, and so on and so forth. Okay, now let's say we decide the exclamation point was a bit too much and we want to get rid of it. We forgot to change the number in range, which means the last index, 8, will be too big. The key is to use the len function inside the range function. Now, even if we change s, the variable I in the for loop will top out at the exact right number. In this case, I starts at 0, and then it goes up to 1, and then it stops there because the next number is 2, which is the length of s. Here's another way of thinking about writing a for loop over a string. The variable in the for loop, I, goes from 0 up to but not including the length of the string. Since this set of numbers conveniently maps to the set of indices in the string, we can just use I as an index in the for loop. Turns out we can also just get rid of the middleman here. What you see in the top right is another type of for loop, where instead of using range after the word in, you can just use a string. The variable name before the word in then gets assigned each letter of the string in succession. The variable is now a string rather than an integer. Nowhere in this for loop do you actually need to directly use indices. Naturally, if you change the string, the for loop still does the right thing. Okay, let's investigate all this in the editor real quick, starting with the len function. So I'm going to make a string, called my string. There it is. Now, if I print out len of my string, this will print out the length, which is 6. Now, I want to reiterate that we can't use 6 as an index. The highest possible index into this string is actually 5. So if I store this in a variable called length, then I try to print my string at index length, this will try to access my string at index 6, and that'll cause an error because the index is out of range. Now, the highest possible index that I could use is that.
You guys following this?
Somewhat.
This video throws like 7 concepts at you, so let me replay that part you just said, because it took me a while to wrap my mind around it.
Actually, length minus 1, 6.
I'm gonna back
Now, I want to reiterate that we can't use indices. Naturally, if you change the string, the for loop still does the right thing. Okay, let's investigate all this in the editor real quick, starting with the len function. So I'm going to make a string, called my string. There it is. Now, if I print out len of my string, this will print out the length, which is 6. Now, I want to reiterate that we can't use 6 as an index. The highest possible index into this string is actually 5. So if I store this in a variable called length, then I try to print my string at index length, this will try to access my string at index 6, and that'll cause an error because the index is out of range. Now, the highest possible index that I could use is actually length minus 1, and this should print the last character of the string, the exclamation point. Okay, now let's write a for loop to print each character in this string. Get rid of this. First, I'm going to say for I in range. And the thing that goes in range here is len my string. I'm going to print my string at I. So this will print my string at 0, and then my string at 1, etc. I can also just use the variable length here, since its value is already the length of the string. And that works too. And then finally, I can just change this, just say my string, and change this to letter, and then I can just print out letter. And this variable letter here is going to get set to each character in my string, the H, and then the E, and then the L, and so on and so forth. So it should print the same thing. And there it is.
Well, that was a lot.
I got it. Got it.
That was a lot. So, get the quiz open, please. What do you think the answers are to the questions? So, first one, what do you think? 3 choices. The question is, which one does not print the first 5 letters each on its own line? You got it up, Lucas? I had to look at this one a couple times. It threw a lot at you in that video.
Get the top one.
Why is it the top one, Zach?
I don't know, I did it and it was the right one.
Yeah, I know. This is what some of you do. You share answers. But why? Why is the top one not going to work?
I think it's because it's something. It's something with the line string, I'm guessing. Because the letter would work. Oh no, wait, letter would work. The letter part, because letter isn't the line.
This is why I tried to replay in the video. This is.
Or no, letter works.
What is the length of the string?
9.
It's A, B, C, D, E, right?
Oh, that. Oh.
So the length of the string is A, B, C, D, E. It's 5, right? So what's going to happen when it's going to loop this how many times? 5 times? That's the length of the string. However, what are the indices of the string? What is the indice for A?
0.
John, pay attention.
1.
Henry, what's the indice for the first character? Always.
0.
Henry. 0. What's the indice for E then? 4. So, but if the length of your string is 5, it's going to be off by 1, and it's not going to work. It's the top one. This second one, we're going to look at this later in 7.4. This is new. How about question 2? What? This is easy. What's the length of the hello string?
I did 4, but it's actually.
It's the length of it, right? How many characters long is it? 5. Okay. So that's that. Now we're going to walk you through the examples slowly. We're not going to skip through like I know some of you do. So we're going to look at the first one here. Okay.
I got it right, Mr. Fire.
There you go, Logan. All right, 743. Is this what it looks like for you guys when you open it up?
Yeah.
743. And 743. This. It's the next one. 743. What is it asking you to do, folks? It says, looking forward down here to this. As you explore, try out these following things. So, create a new variable called good index. Right now it's called bad index. Okay? And how is it different than bad index? So before I add the good index, let's just run this and see what happens.
Well,
What's going to happen when you run this without changing anything? Go ahead, write it on yours. Got it, Maxim? You already that far? You guys didn't lose this. When you run it, it gives you an error.
yeah.
Oh boy. It doesn't error right away though. When does it error?
At the end.
Right. Why is it erroring at the very end? It printed 509, it printed these 3 lines, no problem. These did not have errors. When it tried to print the bad index, why is this a problem?
Because it can't.
Well, it can't. It says Look at the error. Your string index is what?
Out of range.
Out of range, which means it's not the right length. So let me back this up. What is the length of my string here?
5.
It's hello again, so that's 5, just like your quiz. It's 5. So when you come down here, it's trying to print, it puts a 5 here. Can it print the 5th index of hello?
So you changed this.
Why can it not print the 5th index of hello? That's the error.
Eh?
Eh?
I forgot.
How many characters are in hello?
5.
H-E-L-L-O. 5, right? So the length is 5. That's fine. But when I'm trying to use it as an index, why is that a problem?
Because you can't.
What's the index for H, Logan? For the H?
1 or 0.
0. What's the index for the E? How about the O?
2,
Or
4, 5, 5.
4.
4.
It only goes to 4. The index only goes to 4. The range only goes to 4, but I'm asking it to print 5. That's why it's an error.
You just minus 1.
So, yes, you're so good. So it said, let's start again. Make a new variable called good index. So on this line down, make it a good index, an index that will work. That uses the length function, the len function. It's going to look pretty much exactly the same as the bad index. He's got to modify it a little bit. Zach already said it, maybe you didn't hear him though, so don't say it again, Zach.
Okay.
What do I have right here that will make it work? I cannot put a value of 5. If I wanted to print the O, I want to put a 4 in here, so simple math. How do you go from 5 to 4? 2 to 3. What? Oh, 2 plus 3. How do you change it from a 5 to 4?
+1.
Yeah, they're only off by 1, right? So we're going from 5 to 4, so we're not going to add 1. We're going to minus 1. So the length, oh wait, am I doing this in the right place? I don't think I am. Where do I put the minus 1? You see it, Hannah?
I can't see it. I have my glasses.
If I leave it like this, what's the length of my string? 5. That is 5. I think I want to put the minus 1 outside of this after this. Calculate the length of my string first. That's 5. Then subtract 1 and that'll be a 4. So then I'm going to replace down here, I'm going to replace the bad with good. And now if this is working, it's not going to error.
It's gonna print the O.
It's going to have the 509, and then this is trying to print the last character of hello should print an O.
It does.
And voila!
Yeah.
At first I thought that was a weird 0, but then I got confused. We're not printing a 0, we're printing the O in hello.
We are.
Okay? So there. I know some of you don't take time on examples like this. I'm going to do this next one, maybe too. 744. The length of a user's name. So here's what we got to do this time.
You have to ask where you put.
Write the function name length. It returns the number of letters in that person's name. This is what's say. The name was what? Passed as an input. So you're going to ask somebody, what's your name? They're going to type their name in, and you're simply going to tell them how long, how many characters are in their name. So this one's not so bad, okay? Is this? Let me get rid of some of this stuff here. Here's what I'll start with. Open your function, or your program. I forgot what the starting code was for you.
7.43.
744. Oh, we did 744. It doesn't print.
Why am I
You had. Did you do a good index that we did?
try to?
Oh, let's not do this one on the back of that.
Wait, so instead of
line 2 for me, define the name length as name.
You have to do an input or no?
They need an input, so I added an input right there. And I named it, I called it name, right? Which makes sense. And the input is simple. What is your name?
What was it? Oh.
Okay?
Input.
So you type in, you know,
What's your name?
Lucas Jefferson, right? They would type that in. Lucas Jefferson is the value given to this variable, which is also the value of the parameter then, when you type out and call upon the function. Okay? So whatever they type in will be given to the function.
What is your name?
What do you want this function to do? What are we trying to have this do? When you call upon it,
Print.
go back to the directions. You want it to return the number of letters. That's it. How many letters are in Lucas Jefferson? How many letters are in Logan Krieger? How many letters in Tanner Kadeen?
Think positive X,
Right?
negative.
How many letters in Tiana's name? So what do you have to have it do? What is this function simply doing? What do you want it to return?
Name.
Lucas Jefferson, how many letters are in your name?
Including space.
Yeah, ooh, that's good. Including the space, yes.
Gosh, if I just, I think I'm so lost right now.
15. Okay. So all I wanted to say is your name has 15 characters. Logan Preview, how many are in your name?
14.
Logan, spaces count because it's character, so 10. So we wanted to return the length of your name. But that's the new function. I'm not typing right now, sorry. I thought I was. We wanted to return the length of your name. What's that new function? It's not, it's just len. Right?
You don't have to return them.
You want it to return that length. So when you type in Lucas Jefferson, it would be 15. Logan Preview, it would be 10. Right? Or 11, is it 11? And now remember, a return doesn't actually print until you actually call upon the function and print it. So down here lower, underneath all this, you print parenthesis name length.
Oh.
Name length with
It
a
printed
name.
a 4.
You printed a what?
4.
Did you type in Zach?
Yes.
So it worked.
Oh, that's what it's supposed to do?
All it's supposed to do is print out how many characters are in your name.
Oh, okay, I did it right.
So is it working?
Yes, it's just take forever to create it.
Mine won't even run. Here. What is your name? Mr. Fife. Mr. Fife. And it printed out 8. MR period space FEIG. So that's 8. Logan, did it work? Probably doesn't help your attention.
I was actually just,
lost.
no, I was looking at,
Oh,
I was just trying to look at the leaderboard.
Funny. Okay?
Return Len last name?
The length of the name, that's length. And you can play around with it, just type in different things. My name is Homer Simpson now.
That's not funny.
Go. And it's 13 letters in Homer Simpson's name. It includes spaces. It counts as a character. Everyone get this to work?
Yeah, that's not really.
Oh, great. Let's see if I can get mine to grade. Oops. Did I take away copy and paste or give you copy? Scratchpad is annoying sometimes, right? Yeah, it's just spinning. Is it grading for any of you? Lucas? It works for Lucas. So how did you have it different? You know, I see that. Like, so essentially his code doesn't have this, right? Which to me doesn't actually do anything there,
That's
right?
cool. Mine's
Yours doesn't actually print anything, right?
Mr. 5. Mine's not working.
It won't print.
Yikes. Hold on.
The length of
Oh, that's cool.
the aim. You know, if you double click on the name length there, right up here, highlight it, and it shows you it's the same. Now it should work. There's no loading on it. Name length is 95.
So that tool just doesn't let you be.
Oh.
It's in scratch. Oh, yeah.
It's gotta be the same. Alright.
What?
So, not great. Okay. I'm not doing that one yet. So, if it's not graded for you, let me know. I can help you with that. Now, I know you like skipping these examples, but this one's good. 745, open it up. It's not sufficient to click on it to make it go green and move on. There's a lot to learn here. And that's where I'm just asking you to have a little maturity about what you're trying to learn here, okay? Here's what it's, let's just run it and then I'll see what we're supposed to do.
Oh,
Okay.
the I. You gotta
My
do the
string
I.
is hello, and then we have a for loop.
I did it.
For I in range, length of my string, blah, blah, blah. What happens when I run this?
It's gonna
It
print
just
hello.
says HELLO down the left side. Okay. So please do this. What are we supposed to do with this? Look at the example. You don't just hit run, folks. Please stop doing that. Here's what you're doing: two things. Change the value of my string to a phrase that has spaces. What happens? That's easy. That's a piece of cake. So what do you want to put instead of hello?
Hold on.
With spaces, it said.
Oh, Mr. 5.
Hello, Mr. 5. Okay. So
We have to put like the thing.
we're just playing around with it. So there you go.
Nice.
It put spaces. Okay. That's not rocket science, right? I'm going to change this to something I wrote up to help us with this. I'm going to change it to cat's rule.
Yes.
Dog's rule.
Okay.
No.
You can change yours to dog's rule, okay, Logan?
Dog rule.
Cat's rule. It's got a space. What is the next thing we're supposed to do, though? And I know this one won't grade for you, but you need to do it. How can we alter the values of I in the loop so that the word prints backwards? Well, actually, let's go back
Come on,
to,
like negative I.
you could go back to hello for now. We'll come back to cat's rule in a second.
Like, do you do negative I?
Oh, there's a good thought. Can we just do negative I? Why do you think about that? Can you tell us?
Because it's just the opposite. And like, you can flip it around. So instead of like 1, 2, 3, 4, it would be negative 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I like that. If you could hear what Logan said, let's try it. Negative I. And run it. Is it going to be hello backwards? What it says, Holly. What the? What happened there? The H stayed put, and then everything else is backwards. Why is that? So, the length of this, what are the indices of hello? It goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. What if you make those negative? What happened? What's negative 0? 0. It doesn't move. H doesn't move.
Oh, you can make.
So how do I, it's not hard as often as the answers, right? It's just, you gotta think it through. I wrote this up for Cat's rule. I don't know if this helps with you, for you. I'm gonna do Cat's rule. I actually don't like cats, so that's why I'm doing this kind of tongue-in-cheek. Lucas, you know what to do here? So, that's how the indices of Cat's rule would be worked out, 0 through 8. Okay.
Oh, but it's a space. Which is
I want to be able to go -1, -2, -3. This is what you were doing, right? I want to be able to call upon -1, which would print the E. -2, which would be. Put it over there, kid. How was lunch?
That's great.
Good. So I want to essentially take this index and switch it to the purple index. How do I do that? Right? What's the length of the string? No. For Cat's rule, I should say. For Cat's rule, isn't the length of the string 9? Right? And then that 9 is what goes here. So it's for I in range will be 9. I can't just make it negative though, folks. How do I tweak it? How do I get a 0 to turn into a -1? Number, this is math related, folks. James, you got it? Lucas, you got it? John? So, folks, when we just put a negative right here, I wish I had my iPad when it's recording. When we just did -I, it did not do this, right? Loosen up. Don't give up when it gets hard. Press on. It made 0, 0. Then it did what?
-1.
Then it did -1. Then it did -2, right? And all the way to -8. That's not the conversion I want. I want to convert it from the black kind of to the purple, but in reverse. How do I get 0 to turn into -1? How do I get 1 to turn into -2?
Add.
How do I get 2 to turn into -3?
Add 1 and minus.
It's a math problem.
But
Come on, Logan.
I did it.
Oh,
I
Logan's
got
not
it
this.
right backwards.
How do I do that? You're very close by putting a negative on it. You're just not quite right.
yeah, you add 1, but then you times it by negative.
Add 1.
So you times it by negative.
That would work. It said add 1 to 0, Logan.
Yup.
What is that?
1.
And then make it negative.
Negative
Add 1 to 1.
2.
Make it negative.
Yeah.
Hey, we're good. We're trying to go in reverse, right? Add 1 to 2.
3.
-3. So how do we put that in there? We need to put that right here. Add 1 to I and then make it negative.
So let's do plus I.
No, you put it outside.
Say it again. Add 1 to I.
And then you times it by negative.
Let's do 5. Okay, no.
There's more than one way to do this.
He just put a space.
He did what? So, like that, right? Logan, isn't this what we just did?
Kind of.
Add 1 to I, and then make it negative. Put that in place of that.
Or keep those.
But then it's gotta be in the bracket still. How did you do it, Tanner? You just did what? Oh. But then you've got a space up here. could also do this, folks. You could just do it like this. You could do negative I. I could ditch these parentheses and I could do -1.
Really?
So try it. Did it work?
No.
You try it.
Yeah.
So I gotta go right here. Just do negative I -1.
Oh, I did plus one.
Well, let's do the one we were talking about. Do negative parenthesis I plus 1. That's the one we talked about.
Negative parenthesis.
Can you see it from this?
Negative parenthesis. Plus one. Yeah.
Plus 1. Then get rid of the -1. Should be dogs rule backwards. So you didn't expect it. Yeah, there you go. Boom. So thank you. That is the one I wanted to have you do. And I had a fear you'd skip it because it was just an example. So that leaves you 3 more items to do within 7.4. If it's not grading for you, let me know.
Mine's not great.
I'll come around and help you with it. Or I'll fix it manually on my own.
Mine's not great.
Doing good, Mahad?